Hello, welcome to Learning English with ySAGS. My name is Harry, and in English there are many words that can be misused often, and these words can cause a lot of confusion. The words we're going to talk about today are like, as, for, during, and while. Let's start off with our first clip. Like means similar to, such as, and the same as. Now let's look at an example.
Oh, is it he?
Yes. Do you know him?
Yes.
What does he do?
He's the teacher like me.
In that example, you heard the expression, he's a teacher like me, which means we is a teacher, and the girl is also a teacher as well. The word like here refers to similar to or the same as. Let's continue with another example.
My boss very bad. He always makes us work overtime while our salary stays the same. I hate my job. It is so terrible.
Why are you always talking about boring things like a job?
In the first example, we saw the expression, a teacher like me, which is an as, and that's the same as the second example. We also use boring things like your job, not as. Like and as have the same meaning, but as should be used before the subject and the verb. As has the same meaning as in the position of, in the form of, and in the same way.
Don't move anything. Leave everything as it is.
Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style.
You shouldn't have done it, as I already told you.
Gangnam Style.
In the example that we just looked at, we saw the girl say, leave everything as it is, and you shouldn't have done it, as I already told you. We can see that as is used before the subject and the verb. We can also call this a clause. When as is used with a noun, we can see that an action is really happening.
A few years ago, I worked as a bus driver.
During the war, this hotel was used as a hospital.
We can see in that clip that he said that he really worked as a bus driver, which expresses the truth that he really is a bus driver. We don't use like in that situation. At that time, like and as have different meanings. We use like to compare things. Let's have a look at this small conversation.
Oh, look at her.
Wow, she's so beautiful, like a princess.
The expression like a princess means that she is not a real princess, but the boy thinks that she's so beautiful that he compares her to one. That's enough for as and like. Now let's move on to for, during, and while. But let's have a look at for and during first. We use for plus the amount of time to express how long an action lasts.
Where have you been?
We've been waiting for ages.
Are you going away for the weekend?
Sorry, but I'm busy this week. So maybe we could go out the next weekend.
In the first example, the girl complained to A, especially when she said for ages. The following talk we're going to look at, the expression for the weekend is used to help the boy ask exactly the time he wants to ask the girl. We don't use during in those circumstances. Now let's look at during. During plus noun tells us when an action happens, not how long it happens for. Let's have a look at another example.
So, what's the most interesting thing during your holiday?
Oh, I met a lot of friendly people and delicious food and blah blah blah.
Oh wait, I have someone knocking at my door. I'll phone you sometime this afternoon, okay?
Okay, bye.
He said, what is the most interesting thing that happened during your holiday? During is used to ask for the time that the action happened and not how long it happened for. Let's have a look at the difference between during and while. We use during plus noun and while plus subject and verb. Let's have a look at some examples to help you understand better. Do you see a difference now? After while, we use the present tense. Do not use the future tense, the word will, to talk about time in the future.
I'm going to London next week. I hope to see Tom while I'm there.
Really? Could you help me to send Tom this letter if you see him?
Okay. What are you going to do while you are waiting for me?
I am going to go to that bookshop and buy some novels.
The boy said, while you're there and while I'm waiting, he used the present tense, not the future tense. In summary, let's have a look at what we've learned from this video. First of all, like and as. Like is used before a noun. As is used before subject plus verb. Next, for, during and while. For plus time is used to say how long an action lasts for. During plus noun is used to say when an action happens. And while plus subject and verb is used together. During and while also have the same meaning. This is the end of our clip. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you come back and have a look at our next video. We'll see you then. Goodbye.